Maribel Pravuna was born and raised in Topeka, Kansas. She was the daughter of her single mother who loved and cherished her in the most unusual of ways. Mrs. Pravuna was a believer in the ways of her forefathers, who practiced their indigenous traditions and rituals for thousands of years. It had become part of their family heritage. And down the line, it became part of Maribel's brought-up. Growing up, she had seen her mother perform her rituals using voodoo magic. She claimed it influenced the daily affairs of her life, from love and happiness to sometimes justice and revenge, though she never needed the use of negative energy to manifest her desires, wishes, and wants. To Maribel, these rituals and offerings were a means of entertainment for her in the early years of her life. But as she grew up in the busy city of Topeka, going to school and later attending college, she became quite distant from her mother and her family traditions. She decided to move to Denver, Colorado and start a life on her own. Her mother, of course, performs yet another one of her rituals to summon the spirits of her ancestors to look over Maribel. Maribel, take these with you. It has guided me throughout my life and has protected me from the forces of evil. During the good and bad times of my life, I have looked to this doll to achieve a profound concentration on my goals and on my future. In my family, many have used us for harm and vengeance, but let me warn you, malice and ill will is never a good idea. I have brought these things back from my land, where they were blessed by a priest. I knew they would come in handy one day. Mama, I don't think I need that. I mean, has it really ever come in handy? You have to stop giving credit to all these and give credit to yourself. There's no doubt you've been a great mother, and I hate that there are some things that are still holding you back from progressing. Child, if only you understood the power of voodoo, you wouldn't have given me the credit. I'm nothing without the blessings of the spirits. Just to make her mother content, Maribel packed the box in her trunk. She left for Colorado. She got a decent job there and rented an apartment. But life was pretty lonely for Maribel. At least until she met someone she really liked. It all started from one quiet afternoon when Maribel entered a bookshop to pass the time. That's where she was introduced with a young man named Sebastian Olsen. He was charming and attractive and had a great sense of humor. Sebastian used to come to the bookshop regularly. He was part of the Writers' Club. When Maribel got to know, she too joined the club. Not because she had any interest in writing, but because she had her eyes on Sebastian. Over time, Maribel and Sebastian developed a cordial relationship. But Maribel wasn't content with that. Deep down inside, she wanted to be closer to Sebastian, and things were working great. Just until a new member joined the club. Her name was Monica Hathaway. She was tall, slim, she had luscious hair, ruby red cheeks, and just the way she walked made all the girls around her jealous, especially Maribel. There was no denying that Monica was in every way superior than Maribel, at least when it came to looks, and on top of the looks, her cheerful personality made her more admirable. But Maribel didn't despise her because she was better. She couldn't stand her presence because Monica had the attention of Sebastian. Sebastian was crazy about Monica, like Maribel was crazy about him. And the worst part was that Monica seemed to like Sebastian back. I read your latest work, Sebastian. It's really interesting. Are you going to make a sequel? I'll be looking forward to reading that. You're impressed by my work? You should take a look at Monica's latest novel. She's a very talented writer. I've read it twice so far. It amazes me every time. Oh, yeah, I read it a bit. I fell asleep, didn't find it that compelling. Hey you two, what are you guys talking about? Maribel was just saying she liked my book. Who's Maribel? And yes, I loved your book. I wanted to discuss a few points with you. Maybe we should get coffee together sometime. Sure. I'd love to learn a few tricks from you. Oh no, I wanted to ask you a few questions myself. You're an amazing writer. What are you saying? So far, you're the best I've seen. How about tomorrow at 6 at the BII Cafe? But Sebastian, the bookshop was holding a reading and signing session for my new book tomorrow. Aren't you going to? Of course, Monica, tomorrow at 6. Maribel suddenly went from being a good friend to a third wheel. And as the days went by, Maribel realized she was losing Sebastian to this Barbie who popped out of nowhere. Maribel was devastated. She was filled with rage and disgust for Monica. And at that moment, she really didn't care if Monica truly deserved it or not. Sebastian rarely had any time for anybody else. All he thought about was pleasing Monica. And every passing day made Maribel a little more depressed and a little more hopeless about her love life. But it was when Monica crossed the line that Maribel decided she had to do something about it. Sebastian, what is it with you and Monica? Give other people a chance too, will you? She's not that great. Why, Maribel? Is someone a little jealous? Jealous? About what? I'd never change myself to become like someone else. I doubt that. You know I'm better than you. I'm prettier than you. I know how to talk. I know how to walk. In comparison, well, I'm a tigress, and you're what? What should I say? A fluffy little sparrow? Excuse me? All right, we don't need fights here. Sebastian, I can't believe you're gonna take her side. Come on, Maribel, be fair now. You started it. Maribel was enraged. Monica not only walked away with Sebastian, she insulted her in public. And she was going to pay for it. Maribel felt like crying, but she was never going to let Monica spot her tears. She held her breath and walked into the bookshelves, hoping nobody would notice her. She let out her tears and tried to gather her composure, but all she truly wanted to do was disappear. She peered through the spaces on the bookshelf and watched Sebastian and Monica joking and fooling around as if nothing happened. She gripped her fist in rage, trying to hold back her anger. That's when something caught her eye. A book kept all the way at the bottom of the shelf to the corner. Voodoo magic, love or hate, find a solution to every mistake. Maribel knew exactly what to do. She immediately went back home and ravaged through her closets. In the corner, hidden under numerous clothes, bags, and junk, was the box her mother had packed for her. Maribel made herself an altar. She arranged all the special items, the anointing oils, the patchouli root, the cedar chips and rose petals. But Maribel had to make a choice. In my family, many have used this for harm and vengeance, but let me warn you, malice and ill will is never a good idea. Maribel decided to use a love spell on Sebastian. She could care less about Monica. Taking Sebastian away from her was a good enough revenge for her. Maribel chanted her spells and anointed the oils on the voodoo doll of Sebastian for days on. But it seemed that Sebastian's desire for Monica was stronger than that of the spell itself. Maribel had to increase the power of her doll. She had to make the message clearer and summon Sebastian's inner spirit, and there was only one way to do that. She had to make Sebastian love her. The only way she could make Sebastian feel the love she experienced for him was to hurt him. She hurt him, and she stood there beside him when no one else cared to come forward, especially not Monica. The broken arms, the broken leg, the pain in the back, and all the love and care that Maribel could give him in the process, that made Sebastian realize how much Maribel felt for him. It was her love spell. After all, don't they say, the ones you love can hurt you the most? Sebastian now confided in her. Sebastian trusted her. Sebastian loved her. Monica was long out of Sebastian's life, and Maribel's voodoo magic was working great. In the near future, she wouldn't have to use it anymore. Sebastian was blinded by her love anyway. But the issues began when Sebastian started to sense that something was up, something supernatural. He discovered candles, pins, and tarot cards and herbs in the house, which belonged to none other than Maribel herself. Luckily, Maribel got out of the mess with a white lie. But then, Sebastian visited a spiritual guide who offered him a potion to reverse the effects of her magic. Maribel was devastated the moment she saw him sprinkle it around the house. She immediately made up an excuse and cleansed the entire house of any interfering powers. Maribel got away with it once, twice, but she knew she wouldn't get away with it forever. She had to strengthen her power. Sebastian suddenly woke up. Shaking in fear, he jumped up in his bed. Maribel was sitting next to him. Maribel looked worried. Lay down, You look like you were having a bad nightmare. What happened? Didn't we leave for Mount Shasta? No, what are you talking about? That's tomorrow. Do you still have that headache? Maybe it's messing with your head. Yeah, it's terrible. Let me make you some soup. Maybe that will make you feel better. Sebastian laid back down and smiled at Maribel. I don't know what I'd do without you. I love you, Maribel. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.